Hello everyone, this is Stuff. You're watching Stuff HD, and today I wanted to do a video, and I didn't want to make a video about coronavirus because my friend Ekis and I did one yesterday, and I think that's enough. You guys hear plenty about that everywhere else, so that's why I'm trying to make videos right now, because I've been working from home. I have a little extra time. Figure, hey, make a few videos and try to talk about something else that is not that, because people are sick and tired of hearing about that. So today we have Luis on the line. I mean Ekis. We have Ekis on the line. Ekis is over at his house. Hey Ekis, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
How goes it?
Pretty good. Just relaxing here
Chilling?
in my studio apartment.
Your studio apartment?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now this video is brought to you by nobody. Like it is not brought to you by anything. But I like this.
Hey,
Case, would you like a Mountain Dew?
Sure, I'll take one.
You sure?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Transfer.
There you go. There.
Oh, there you go.
That's the power of editing over here.
Good thing we have Star Trek powers.
Star Trek powers, yeah, or Jedi powers nowadays.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we
are what? Didex. What's it called? A dyad. That's what
I
they
think
said.
it was just Force Link.
No, it was because they were part of the, like, there were two part of one. They're fractions, man. It was a dyad or something.
I don't want to think about coronavirus or math, okay?
Or Star Wars Last Jedi. No. Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Or any of them.
Any 7, 8, or 9, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk, the thing that I wanted to talk about today, because I am actually going to try to make this a short video, I promise. It's probably not going to happen. Why do I use iPhones? I keep getting that question now, because I used to be a huge Android fanboy. I used to hate on Apple all the time. So why do I use Apple devices now? Like I have the MacBook, I have the MacBook Pro, I have the iPad Pro, I have the iPhone Pro. Not the Max, but the Pro. I have the Apple Watch. What else do I have? That's it, right? I think that's about it.
Pretty much it, yeah. That's pretty much everything. But you used to have an iMac.
I had an iMac for a month or so.
But you got something better.
I got something better. So yeah, and this is what I want people to understand. You gotta get the phone you need.
Right.
I keep saying, if you can afford to get something better and you really want it, then go for it. It's your money. But certainly go with the phone that you need for the most part. Back in the day, back when I was a big time Android fanboy, and even now, even though I have so many Apple products, I will say Android, in my opinion, and I don't know yours, but in my opinion, Android is the better operating system.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Yeah, I think it's better for a variety of things, but there's like one key element that kind of doesn't make it better than that. Like the Apple does better than Android. Like it's like everything, but that one thing counts for a large percentage of what makes Apple Apple. So.
And what's that one thing?
That's the ecosystem.
The ecosystem. Seriously, like when you have a bunch of Apple products, they really just kind of work together. You know, I can easily get a phone call on my tablet or my MacBook or my phone or my watch. I can easily send messages from any of those. It's just so simple, and like I hate to sound like that guy, but it really just works most of the time.
Yeah.
Does it work every time? No, but most of the time it does. Like I love when I take a picture and somebody wants me to send them that picture, and I notice that they have an iPhone, I know that I can easily airdrop it to them.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff is just really convenient for me.
Yeah, and one of the things that like I use a MacBook Pro, yeah, the 13-inch for my music, right? But I use a Samsung phone for my daily, what they call daily driver, and so it is a little difficult sometimes to, because I can't airdrop the music I make on my MacBook Pro and airdrop it to my Samsung, so I have to use like a separate program, Android Transfer, so I can transfer, but I have to connect it through a wire, so it's not wireless. But I also do have an iPhone, so it just makes things a lot easier if you have the MacBook and the iPhone. But like I use my Samsung as my daily, so I'm kind of like in the middle of I'm not committed to one particular system. So it makes things a little bit more like tricky sometimes.
And that can be good because once you get into the Apple ecosystem, it's very difficult to get out. And that in part is what happened to me. I got into the Apple ecosystem and it was just very difficult to get out because it was so nice and comfortable. And like I said, things worked for the most part. Now, back in the day, I used to use Android all the time. I love Android. I still use Android. I have an Android phone too. But back in the day, phones were slow. And you needed to be able to do, like with Android, I was able to put other ROMs in it and make it run faster. I could speed up, overclock it, drain down my battery faster, but the phone would work faster. You could do so many other things. I never really cared that much for the whole customize your screen to look all badass. I did it a bunch of times, but I would always switch back to the original because I'm very simple with that type of stuff. Now, for years, I've been saying for years, phones have been fast enough. Like speed on a phone is not something that I look for anymore. Even with the iPhone 11 Pro, I think the thing is a lot faster than it will ever be able to use on its own, unless you are very much into gaming. And that's what I keep saying. If you're very much into gaming, then you're always gonna need the greatest and greatest, be it phone, PC, consoles. You're always gonna need the latest and greatest. But yeah, I guess now I use iPhones because mainly, I should say, because it's simple enough. I don't do that much with my phone. I make phone calls. I do text messages.
Instagram,
Facebook a little bit. I don't even use Facebook that much. I sure as hell don't use Twitter. But you can still follow me on Twitter at Stuff Networks and Instagram also. Also X here at
L.X or also at X.stateofmind.
X.stateofmind. That changed.
That's my new one. That's gonna be the dedicated one for my extra
stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Coming soon. Pat Penny.
We have a bunch of
we have a lot of things in the works.
But we have recorded some podcasts that haven't aired yet that say L.X, but whatever.
Yeah,
they can still find you there.
Yeah, I'll still be there. You just have L.X is for my music Instagram, so it's pure music, and my X.stateofmind is more like my podcast, daily life kind of pictures and images.
I just forget to switch,
and
no, like, I had me looking at you for a while, but that's fine. People will figure it out.
Yeah, they as long as they can still hear my voice, right?
Yeah.
But that's the important part. But one of the things I was gonna say about things that I hated on Apple, like back in the day.
We can just do this. That way, they can see you.
See me.
Oh wait, you're at your house.
Yeah.
Wait, I forgot about
that. What was that witchcraft? That what was it called? Whatever. There's a specific
sorcery.
Yeah, that's sorcery. Anyways, I was gonna say that, like, one thing I used to hate about Apple, and now they seem to be a little bit better at it, is remember back in the day you had to, like let's say you wanted to take out pictures from the iPhone, and you connected it to a new computer that never had been connected. You had to download iTunes, and you had to sync that iPhone to the iTunes, and that was the only way you can take out the pictures. And they made it so difficult to take out your own stuff into a regular PC.
Yeah, they have gotten better, and that is one important point that I forgot to mention. Part of the reason why I can use an iPhone now as my daily driver is because they have both copied each other enough, you know? Like, there's a lot of stuff that iOS does now that used to be only Android. Like, I remember for the longest time, I was able to pay with my phone on my Android phone, but you couldn't do it on an Apple phone. Stuff like that. The notifications, they're still better on Android. But yeah, like, Apple has copied Android enough, and Android has copied Apple enough also that they really are both great. But Google, the way they keep trying out things and canceling things, they're never gonna build a good ecosystem that way. So yeah, that is definitely one part where Apple has them.
Yeah, and one thing I would say is that, like, Android or Google, they have a lot of good ideas. Like, you know, they have, like, now they have the screen call and things like that really are things that make them special. But, like, usually people say that Apple usually does them better. And I think a lot of times because they're more, how can I say, like, more, what did you say, they're more consistent with keeping their, like, ecosystem updated, like software type things?
I think part of the reason why Apple tends to be so late to things is because they want to make sure that it is something that works and that it's going to stick around.
Yeah.
And they don't usually back away from an idea. Like, the only thing that I can think of right now that they have actually tried that they really kind of failed was that 3D touch, because that just made their screens a lot more expensive, and eventually they just you know, the Pro doesn't have 3D touch. Eventually they decided to go the Google way, where you would just hold it for a second and it'll do the exact same thing. So
yeah,
they tend to make sure things work before they implement them.
Yeah.
Google tends to be more like, oh, let's just try it, see what happens.
Yeah, and sometimes you get stuck with like things that you hope they would do that would make it, you know, to a consumer will make it better. Like, I remember we talked about having the fingerprint scanner on the Apple logo.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a cool idea they could have done, and it would have kind of blended in with their design or whatever. But also other things like, I forgot what I was gonna say. It left my mind.
It'll be another episode. But yeah, the other thing that kills Apple, in my opinion, is they are very, very proud, especially of anything Steve Jobs. So if Steve Jobs said, we don't need a touch screen on your laptop, then they are not gonna give you a touch screen on your laptop. They are completely changing the iPad to make it a laptop in order to give you a touchscreen on a laptop.
Yeah.
Without actually doing that.
Yeah, but like, now I remember what I was gonna say is switching over to USB-C. You know, like all the iPhones still have the Lightning port, and they have not switched it over to the USB-C, but yet they switched it on the iPad.
On the iPad, yeah, on the iPad Pro.
And it's kind of like, you know, what's the reason for not putting the USB-C on there? And it would just be a lot better for consumers, because that way you can just carry one cable with you.
Yeah,
like, you can't use the same cable you charge your iPad Pro with your iPhone. Like,
yeah, but a lot of people, yeah, I get it, because I remember when they originally switched from the 16 pin or whatever that was to the smaller one. And then to the lightning, a lot of people were complaining because all my gadgets that use that are no longer gonna work. But hey, they've done it before. I honestly think it's time. Like,
don't they have courage?
yeah, they're supposed to be the ones that have courage. So they had the courage to get rid of the headphone jack. They should have the courage to get rid of the lightning port, because everybody else is using lightning. Like, you guys look dumb. I look dumb having stupid lightning. I mean, everybody else is using USB-C. That's what I meant. Although you guys know me, I am not a fan of USB-C, but technically I haven't really had that many issues on phones, so whatever.
Yeah, and didn't Apple kind of help develop the whole USB-C type thing? I kind of heard that they had a hand in it or something.
They developed Thunderbolt 3.
Okay.
But then they decided to use it with USB-C.
With USB-C, okay. Because like one thing, like I have a MacBook Pro here, and it has all USB-C ports, right? Then the iPad Pro has all USB-C. So like the only things left over that have Lightning are, I would say, are the phones and the earbuds, because they still charge with Lightning, right? Or are they USB-C?
Yeah, those are Lightning, and I'm not even sure why. But I mean, I guess so that you use the same charger as your phone, but it's done. And it's time to get rid of it.
And I know that in Europe, I remember reading an article where they want to pass it so that all phone manufacturers have to use the same charge cable input. So by law, if it passed, I don't know if it passed already or if it's going to pass, but by law, Apple is gonna have to have a USB-C on their iPhone.
I imagine that all they're gonna do is put a USB-C
like a dongle
to Lightning connector.
Yeah, I mean,
little dongle, because they love their dongles. It's not. It's probably, well, that one by law might have to be in the phone.
Yeah,
but I don't. I paid so much money for this phone. I don't think it brought a Lightning to headphone jack.
No, it didn't.
It didn't, right?
Because my iPhone 11 didn't do that either.
Yeah.
Didn't even come with a SIM card
Bad
ejector.
Apple. Anyway, I already messed up. This is 17 minutes. How?
For real?
How can I never do a 5-minute video?
How is it 17 minutes? We just started talking.
All right.
Man.
I'm gonna end this now. But hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed our little chat here.
Oh man.
Our little stupid chat.
We're like chatty school kids.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah.
On top of the MacBook.
On top of the mic. We're out of here. You all take care. Bye.
Deuces.